Ladies and gentlemen, 2 fights in, 2 fantastic results here this evening. This is, of course, XFC41, a new era. Wombat Jones, the president now of XFC, with Brian Ebersol putting together another fantastic card. Here we have now the Ryan Leavey making his way to the cage from the red corner. He was born in Penrith, New South Wales. He fights out of Tribal MMA, and his coach is Paul Burge. He comes into this contest with 1 win to his name. No wins yet by knockout or submission. However, he'll be looking to get one of those under his belt tonight. His ambitions is to end up on an international show, which, Ben, is always an ambition for a lot of these fighters, and this is a perfect place for them to start in these type of events like XFC.
And listen to the crowd, Steve. They absolutely love him. You would not believe he's only had a fight.
Absolutely massive. Waiting for his opponent now to come out to the cage. Now, Marcus Foote making his way out to the cage. Marcus Foote, born in Melbourne. The gym that he fights out of is Costa MMA, and his coach is Cal Costa, who's also someone that he looks after very much. It's his debut fight this evening. We spoke to him earlier in the week. He said he wants to go as far as he can in mixed martial arts. So let's see how he goes tonight on his debut. Marcus Foote went on top. His favourite submission is the Das choke, and on the bottom he loves a Kimura. He is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu blue belt, and as we mentioned, we spoke to him earlier in the week, and he said that what he wants to do is go as far as he can in this sport. This is the place to start, though. You need to have your debut at some point. You need to be an amateur before you become a professional, Ben, and he'll be looking to get off to a great start. Ladies and gentlemen, the fighters are ready inside the ring. We go to Daniel Maudsley.
So, ladies and gentlemen, fight number 3 this evening is an amateur lightweight bout contested over 3 3-minute rounds. And introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, he weighed in at 69.4 kilos and trains out of Tribal MMA, holding an undefeated amateur record of 1 win with 0 defeats. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ryan Leavey! And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, he weighed in at 69.0 kilos and trains out of Costa MMA. Tonight, he makes his MMA debut. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Marcus Foote! And when the action begins, your referee in charge, Peter Hickmott.
And Big Pete Hickmott in the centre cage. He's our referee this evening. And Foote comes out powerful. Here comes Leavey. This might be an early night, gents.
What a great start that was, Benny. Both fighters coming out. Big punches to start. Ryan Leavey throwing to Marcus Foote, looking to defend up against the cage.
Leavey looking to have a quick night tonight as he uses his cage pressure very well. Foote looking to land a knee, he's looking to do some damage. Perhaps we'd like to see him use that underhook and turn off that cage.
Yes, so a really nice little opening exchange there. Ryan Leavey looked like he connected with a tidy little uppercut. Pretty rare to see someone with Ryan's tall frame like that have tight uppercuts like that, so pretty nice stuff there, and nod to the team there at Tribal MMA, obviously putting in some great work with the young man.
Great cage pressure here by Leavey.
Good position, holding on to the wrist there, gents. Hands goes round the neck. There comes a knee from Marcus Foote as he now looks to reverse the fortunes and come forward into the centre of the cage.
Marcus Foote on debut. He's just looking to survive the initial onslaught as Leavey comes back again.
Oh, punches being thrown right in front of us, gentlemen. He's connecting big time. Ryan Leavey hitting some big punches.
Oh, Leavey with a flying knee.
Oh, party's on their feet here inside the Mansfield Tavern. By knees, great counter there from Marcus Foote.
Great angles being thrown by Leavey.
So Ryan Leavey with some tidy boxing here to kick this one off. Goes high with the right roundhouse kick.
And the damage starting to take its toll on Foote.
Huge shots there being landed by both. A bit of claret as well in the nose of Marcus Foote. Big start to this contest. Fight number 3 of the night here, XFC 41.
All right, Peter Hickmott has called a halt to it. What do we think, Dan? Low blow?
Yeah, looked like one just sneaking a little below the belt there. So that means that Marcus Foote will get up to 5 minutes, I believe, now to make sure everything's still working the way it should be. So
now knows what he's in for. He knows that Leavey's going to come on strong.
How hard is it to think about that, though, Ben, when you're in that position? He's got to get his thoughts
Great
together
question.
really
That's what a coach is for. That's why you got your experience in your corner.
Excellent.
He's going to tell you how to think. He's going to tell you the game plan. As Leavey comes on strong.
Big shots being landed by Leavey.
Beautiful question mark kick there from the back leg of Ryan Leavey, and I'm just loving his touching style boxing, touching to set up the big shot. Very Diaz-esque, if I might say.
Yes. We see the best coming out all the way to the top, and that's on show here. Big shots again. Both fighters making their way back to the centre of the cage.
Leavey doing a good job controlling the centre of the cage there, putting a lot of pressure on Foote.
And
again.
Time being called.
Yep, so another low blow there. Ryan Leavey's got to be careful here. He'll likely either get a stern warning, or Peter Hickmott may even think about taking a point. Doesn't look like he's going to do that.
Look, it looked accidental, but again, you can see Foote, he's a bit out of sorts. He's got the claret coming from his nose now. He's breathing very heavily. He has 5 minutes to relax. So this can work both ways sometimes. That also gives Leavey a break, but I think he needs to regain his composure and come back in this match strong.
Gents, why do you think fighters don't often take that 5 minutes? Not to say the severity can be judged.
Easy,
but
Steve. They're warriors. They want to get straight back into it. That's where the corner's got to say, no, no, no.
Take your
time. Take your time.
That's the end of the round. Another fantastic round of action. The crowd goes absolutely crazy. And gentlemen, this is 2 fighters that are from out of town. We've got one from Sydney, one from Melbourne. But you wouldn't know it here with the way the support in the crowd is making the fighters feel.
It's been an absolute baptism of fire for Marcus Foote.
Yeah, so of course Ryan Leavey, born in Penrith, New South Wales, actually training at a tribal MMA on the Sunshine Coast now though, so about an hour and a half up the road as we see the tribal team in the corner there. Paul Birch, the head coach of tribal MMA, and of course his son, the current XFC amateur lightweight champion, Connor Birch there, holding the ice on the back of the neck there for the man in the red corner, Ryan Leavey.
One of our absolute favourites and a good friend of XFC, and he is our champion, and we look forward to seeing him back in the cage real soon. As we move into round number 2.
Seconds down being called for both of our fighters. Peter Hickmott ready. As you mentioned as well, Daniel, he only gave Ryan Leavey a stern warning for those 2 low blows. He'll have to be careful moving into this second round.
Yeah, it's safe. We see another one travel south. We will see a point taken from the fighter in blue. So something that he has to be aware of at the moment. Likely up 1 round, though, as we see a bit of fancy footwork there and the wheel kick on the return. So
the old Ali shuffle, Dan.
Yes. Dominic Cruz, TJ Dillashaw taking that to a new level in MMA, and we see Ryan Leavey really impressed with this man's fluidity and his striking, and only very young too.
Leavey looking very relaxed, very composed. He's throwing straight. I'm liking what I'm seeing here.
Yeah, no, it's always, I'm so lucky to be in there getting to announce these fighters. I get a real kind of feel for their aura when they enter the cage, and Ryan Leavey just oozed confidence. Didn't seem like he was nervous. Looked like he was going to get his morning coffee, not going into a cage fight.
It's unbelievable when you've only had 1 fight before, how you've got that cage presence. Like I said before, Steve, in my first couple of fights, mate, I can't remember them. It went so quick. I had to watch the footage afterwards. But these guys, they're absolutely amazing, the athleticism and the way they're handling this pressure. It's a credit to their coaches, a credit to their teams, as Leavey starts to pour it on. Foote is in trouble.
Coming forward again, oozing confidence, as both of the gentlemen beside me have mentioned. He's coming forward. It doesn't look like he's been affected either by the warnings. He's keeping his focus, moving forward and throwing some big straight hands, as we can see.
Good shots landed there. Nice uppercut.
So beautiful angles on display here with the hands of Ryan Leavey. And I tell you what, nothing but heart shown from Marcus Foote here in his MMA debut. Many a lesser man would have crumbled by now, but he's continually trying to push forward and trying to stay in this fight as Ryan Leavey seems to be running away with it.
The other thing I love, Dan, is he's not throwing massive, big 100%, 80% shots. But look at the damage, the cumulative damage that Leavey's punches have taken on Foote's face right now.
And we can see the blood there everywhere, Ben. You can see that his face does have a little bit of damage to it. The pressure applying, forward he comes. He's keeping that cage position as well. Taking a few steps back there. A bit of a shuffle as well there on the ground as he looks to go and land a few more shots.
He's having too much fun.
Yep, just a young man having fun on a Friday night.
That's what we expect. The right environment here.
Love that body shot.
How tough is Foote?
Yeah, continuing to push forward, no quit in the red corner at the moment. Starting to see a pretty significant mouse under his right eye, so he's going to have a nice shiner to take home after his MMA debut, regardless of how this one ends.
Leavey moving forward here, gentlemen. We continue that pressure. Defensively, he also looks very sound as well. Anytime anything's coming back to him, he's not taking too much punishment, blocking away, and now as he moves forward and tries to land a straight right hand.
Leavey very composed.
There we have the horn. That ends the second round. No major controversy in that round for Pete Hickmont as he looks at us with a wink. Another great fight here at the Mansfield Tavern. Fight number 3. It's full inside this venue. Gentlemen, tell us a little bit, please. What will the coaches be telling each of the two fighters now as we move into the third and final round?
Yeah, well, Steve, I was just actually about to make mention of that. It's always a really kind of tricky position to be in, and Ben, I'm sure you can attest to this. When you are cornering someone and it's quite clear that you are down 2 rounds, something needs to change here for Marcus Foote. Look, if I was in his corner, I'd be trying to get him to set those kicks up with his hands a little bit more. He's throwing a lot of those naked kicks, which are really quite easy to see coming, and we're seeing Ryan Leavey doing a great job of defending most of those kicks. Whereas if he can start putting some hands in front of it and kind of hide the kicks behind those punches, he's going to have a much better chance of landing some of them.
Look, if I was in the corner right now, Foote's a blue belt. So he's got a BJJ blue belt.
Ready to go now. Ryan Leavey, he's pointing at his opponent. He looks ready. Can he finish the job here? Gets the okay from Marcus Foote. Excellent embrace there from the two fighters. They get ready for round number 3.
Third and final round of this lightweight contest.
And that right there, gentlemen, is why it's the best sport in the world. Look at this, staring each other in the face just a few seconds after a hug.
It really is a game which has the ultimate of respect. Touches in there, Marcus Foote looks to come forward. Action right in front of us. Get ready, gents, for some more blood.
Yeah, Foote, I would have liked to have seen him capitalise there a little bit more.
I think I just got some blood on my forehead.
Perfect.
You have indeed.
Perfect.
You have
Okay,
indeed.
I do, yeah. I thought it started raining in here.
Keep that on there, my friend. Keep that on there.
That is why I don't wear a white shirt.
Yeah, I was just thinking that, as long as it doesn't get on my shirt.
Both fighters up against the cage here. It is the third round. Leavey looking to keep the pressure on his
doing
opponent.
Great cage pressure from this position.
You did mention, Ben, there was the opportunity there, a slight slip, which Marcus Foote couldn't quite take advantage of, unfortunately. Now he's up against the cage and under pressure once again.
Looking at this too, boys, I'd like to see Foote maybe use that underhook that he's only just got there and maybe look to turn.
Even this late in a fight, Ben, even if you do think you have the jiu-jitsu advantage, things aren't working out in the feet. I mean, pulling guard isn't a bad option here. If we're looking at someone who's an experienced blue belt, just try and get the fight to the mat, look for a submission or a sweep, get on top and try and find some sort of finish in this fight.
100%, Dan. We cannot go on doing the same thing that we've been doing for round 1 and 2. We need that drastic change, and the only way to do that is to completely change what he's doing, get a plan B, and at this point, both boys haven't gone to the floor. I would be testing out Leavey and seeing where his ground game is.
But they come off the cage. Ryan Leavey keeping his distance now, looking to move back, make those counter punches count as Marcus Foote throws a left foot.
Foote walking forward. As Dan wipes the blood off his forehead.
Yeah, well, I think there's a little bit more on the face of Marcus Foote at the moment, so I'm not doing too bad. And the man in the red corner just continuing to push forward like we've been talking about. Nothing even close to the word.
How
the
tough
vocabulary
is Marcus Foote?
Very, very tough, Ben, indeed. We approach the final 40 seconds of this contest. Now, here we go again, gentlemen. What does Ryan Leavey do here? Keeps the pressure on. He's looking quite comfortable in defence. does he want to put that under risk by coming forward?
Well, look, to be honest, the last 30 seconds of this fight has probably been the most successful we've seen Marcus Foote with this forward pressure. Maybe we're seeing Ryan Leavey starting to drain a little bit as we see a big push kick, though.
Oh!
So once again with the question mark kick there off the back foot. 10-second clapper, gentlemen.
Leavey has Marcus Foote up against the cage. We approach the final seconds of this contest here at XFC41. There goes the horn. That is the end of this contest. Hands raised in the air from Ryan Leavey. He believes that he has the victory, and Marcus Foote looking a little disconsolate, unfortunately for him, Ben. However, you just never know when it goes to the judges' scorecards, but that did look like...
You never know when it goes to the judges' scorecards, but I do predict by forecast that we will have a win tonight from the blue corner, Ryan Leavey.
Ryan Leavey, excellent performance. It was mentioned there, as we said, from Daniel Maudsley, that there was a little period in that third round, Ben, where he actually looked to be on top slightly, but then it was actually well countered there from Ryan Leavey. The question mark kick, a couple of straight left and right hands, and let's see if he has secured this victory, but you'd expect him to go pretty close after what was a mostly dominant performance. Daniel Maudsley inside the cage. We're awaiting the final decision. Both of the fighters are inside the cage. They're getting ready. We go to Daniel Maudsley for the official decision.
So, ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. All 3 judges score the bout 30-27 for your winner by unanimous decision. In the blue corner, Ryan Leavey.
Ryan Leavey coming away with the victory as Ben predicted. Fantastic performance from him. The judges having that scorecard in his favour quite heavily, but to be expected really the way that fight went on. He moved on from those warnings he received in the first round from Pete Hickmont and put himself in a position where second round landed some big shots. Not quite as much pressure in that third round, and there was a small moment where Marcus Foote came forward. However, Ryan Leavey very successful and very dominant in the third fight of the evening. XFC 41.